Handy Hudsonite here. We are going to look at a flight tracker called Flightradar24. Why would you want to use a flight tracker? Well, I'll give you reasons. I'm going to go over the desktop version and I'm going to get into it right after this. Flight tracking is a convenient way to track where our loved ones are when they are heading our way, or maybe when we are flying somewhere and we want to know more information about our flight. Maybe we're just curious to know about flights in a particular area, or maybe we want to know information about a specific airport. Those are things that we can find here in Flightradar24, as well as a whole lot of other information that I'll be getting into. Obviously, we have the plane icons, and you can see them moving in real time here on in January of 2020, the time of my recording. These are representing every different plane that is in the sky right now. Now, from what I've read up on flight tracking is obviously getting better and better every year, and they're working on being able to aggregate the data so that we can get more and more information about flights, and especially flights that would be international, that would be over the ocean. Sometimes those flights lose some information, or they may go off particular apps or software like this just because they're working on updating the technology in the planes to be able to broadcast that data wherever they are in the globe, on the world. So here we have a lot of different flights happening right now across the United States where I'm focused on. If you hover over the icons, it will show you some information about the plane. You'll notice some of them it is blocked, which could represent private jets that are flying that don't want their information broadcast, or maybe it's a government plane that doesn't want to have their information be made public. These blue pins here are the airports. If you hover over it, it will show you the name of the airport and the call sign following, and there is a way that you can drill in and get information about each of these flights or the airport. Let's look first at an airport. So if I click on that, it will now show me what that is. Omaha Eppley Airfield gives you the call sign, the time here, the current time at that airport, conditions, temperature in Celsius, the wind, and then a review of that airport. The average delay that's happening right now, a disruption index, as well as you can go into an arrival board that will show you all the different arrivals that are happening today. Now, since I'm using the free version of this, there are ads in here. You can upgrade to a premium version that will take away the ads. It's not that expensive. The next tier up is about $10 a year, so very affordable, especially if you do a lot of flying or you just want to use this software more often out of your own curiosity, or maybe you track a lot of people in their flights and you want to keep track of specific information. We'll go back here into that airport information. It also shows the number of departures that will happen here over the next 7 days, their busiest route over the next 7 days, the number of airports served from here, and then the number of countries served. And then you can also click here to get a complete schedule and route map of that airport. Now let's say we want to look at a particular flight. Just do the same thing, just click in on that flight. It will show you the type of aircraft that this flight is using, where they took off from, and then their destination. It also gives the time, the UTC time, their scheduled departure, when they actually took off, as well as their scheduled arrival, and then the estimated arrival time. You come down here, it will tell you in specifics what the plane is, a Boeing 757-251, their registration number. Now you see these padlocks here. These are bits of information that would be available to you if you paid for the premium versions, depending on what tier you're paying for. And then here's their calibrated altitude, their track in degrees. Again, some other features that would be available with premium, their ground speed. And then down here, some data information with the ADS-B system, latitude and longitude. So a lot of great information that you can get access to. And here, even when people are using this app, you can even see what some of the travelers are on this flight. So that's how you can drill down on specific information related to the planes. Now looking here from a bigger perspective, this shows the number of current aircraft that are flying, 15,982. You can see here the different types of data sources. I won't go into details related to this. So approximately 16,000 flights that are in the air right now globally. Here it shows airport delays. So if you're interested in seeing what airports have delays for where you're traveling or for where friends or family might be traveling, of course here they got their Twitter feed and their recent blog posts that you might be interested in reading. And then up here, these tabs just represent some other information that you can get access to about their services and their social media feed and various things. So up here, you click on this, it will show you your subscription plan. As you can see, I have the basic. Here's the UTC time that's kept there for you. Now, if we go into settings, we can look at different ways to see the map. You can adjust the brightness of the background of the map. You can see the map. You can change the map style. So you can go for more of a terrain. You can do more of a road map style if that's what you prefer. Grayscale. So that does allow the icons of the planes to stand out more. Radar. More of a radar type blue, a little easier on your eyes, as well as the radar dark. Got another feature, I like that one. That one really helps it stand out. A satellite view, so you can see what they look like over the actual terrain. Or you could have a hybrid of both of them. Maybe we'll keep this one for now. Again, yeah, you can adjust the brightness of it, of the background. Okay, and then you have day-night lines. So if this would show where it is changing between night and day. We'll leave that on so when we zoom out and see more of a global view, you can see the difference. Now here's some features that are locked unless you have the premium version. Airport pins, let's say you don't care about where the airports are, then you just remove them. Airport pin visibility, you can increase that. So that the higher up that you slide that, it will show more airports. So when you scale that down, it'll show more of just the major airports. You can adjust the size of the aircraft icons. We'll just do auto, let it determine. You can animate the aircraft or unanimate them. We'll leave that animated. And then aircraft labels, which would be their call sign. So it says here, please upgrade to silver, gold, or business subscription for up to 4 labels. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and leave that off since that was off by default. The label background, we'll leave that on. You can also reset all the settings here. When it comes to weather, the only one that's really available to the basic version is the volcanic eruption when applicable. You can turn that on. Icing, in-cloud turbulence. These are all locked, so you would need a premium version to access all of those. But great data there. Visibility, you can toggle different data sources. The types of traffic, whether it's airborne aircraft on the ground, ground vehicles, gliders, any type of aircraft that is registered, you can see with this. So there's a lot of cool types of aircraft that you can follow. Here under miscellaneous, again, some locked features. units, you can use local time or a 12-hour clock. Here, if you want to change it to Fahrenheit, if you're here in the West like I am, that would be a little bit more realistic. If you want to see things in miles per hour instead of knots, you can do that, as well as changing the units in vertical speed, wind speed, altitude, distance. I would prefer miles, so we will change that. Now, if you want to toggle full screen, you're going to need the premium version to be able to view that. This filter feature is a really cool feature. You can filter out things based on call sign, airport, altitude, speed. Let's do altitude. So this would filter out aircraft that are either just taking off, just landing, or smaller aircraft that don't fly as high. And so I've got that scrolled between 0 and 10,000 feet. Let's hit the plus symbol. Now with the basic version, I only get one filter, but with paid subscriptions, you can get more filters to filter out different data. So here you can see these are only the aircraft, and like I was thinking, these smaller aircraft are the ones that are going to be more prominent because they don't fly at high of an altitude as the larger ones. So that gives us an interesting view of particular aircraft, including here's one that we can see, and I should say too, here's a plus and a negative here to zoom in and zoom out. And if you're using a mouse, you can zoom in and out using the scrolling feature on your mouse. If we click on this, this is actually a helicopter. Looks like a private-owned helicopter. Tells you it's a Bell 407, gives a picture of it. So it's not just airline flights that you can follow here. You can actually follow helicopters, gliders, as was mentioned. So, and then there's a little number 1 next to the filter so that it tells you how many filters you have on. Since I have the basic version, I would have to delete that filter and then use another one. Let's say we wanted to do it based on speed. Now if we were to bring this way down to 92, this would probably again toggle more of the smaller aircraft or larger aircraft that are just starting out or getting ready to land. So another interesting way to view this. As you can see, a lot more helicopters are showing up here. So just a very great way to filter out what you want to see, and obviously you can filter out based on a number of other criteria. You can also bookmark some different locations. Looks like you have more continent type bookmarks. Unless you upgrade, then they give you the ability to mark more specific locations. Playback is an interesting feature here. You can choose the date within the last 7 days here in free, or you can toggle back much further with premium. Say I wanted to go back yesterday, and the UTC time would be around 1. You can also choose the playback speed. Say we wanted to do 24, and you do start playback. And here it's playing back now at a speed of 24 times what it was in real time. So this is the flight patterns from yesterday at 1 UTC time. As you can see, the planes are moving much faster. If you wanted to see what the patterns were at another time in the past, we zoom out here. In the US, can do that, and then we could obviously toggle down on aircraft that are going a certain speed again, add that filter, and we can see this played back from yesterday. We can see the slower moving aircraft. So lots of different ways that you can explore flight tracking here. Here, let's turn off, hit this X here to turn off the playback. Okay, so that is an overview of the desktop version of Flightradar24. I appreciate you watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, The Handy Hudsonite, for more tips, hacks, and reviews so that you can get the job done. Don't forget the notification bell so that you can get content as it goes up on my channel, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video.